Right. Hi, everybody. We are live now. Welcome to our CryptoChicks Hatchery. It's a graduation ceremony, and we welcome you all to this very, very first event of this cohort. Our CryptoChicks Hatchery is a mentorship program where we help our hackathon participants to grow their businesses from their hacks. So we started with 9 projects in this cohort. We finished with 7. Unfortunately, 2 of the project, actually, we started with 10, and 3 of the project had to drop for the different reasons. So 7 projects came until the end, and presenting today for the sustainability award of $3,000 Canadian. So the winner, the best progress team, will be awarded this the prize. We're very excited. It was a great experiment for us. It's a very great experience, also something that we did, our hatchery and our CryptoChicks did for the very first time. It is still an experiment, and we will be evolving. We have a big plans for the next year, involving more project, widen up a little bit the scope, and focusing on building an MVPs. For the projects, also we applied to a federal Ontario grant, which is coming along very well. So we had now couple of meetings with them, so we see the light at the end of the tunnel now, and once we receive the funding, we can start funding our participants as well. At the beginning, I would like to share my screen and just entertain you a little bit, just to keep the mood going. Thank you very much for attending today. Just bear with me. All right, so I would like you all, maybe on your phones, go to menti.com, use the code 76491. On your computer, yeah, you can do it, yes. And just tell me how you're feeling today. I would like you to get a little bit of your mood today. While we all joining. All right, fantastic. Happy, anxious with anticipation, excited, awesome, feeling great. Nervous. I understand that. I'm nervous. I'm nervous myself. Grateful. Can't complain. Calm. Awesome. All right. So, okay, we keep not bad. So it's the entries keep coming. Yes. Thank you. We will come back to this slide. And right now, I want to move to the next one. All right. So please name CryptoChicks Hatchery projects, teams that you know. That's a bit of a for new people, could be a bit of a tough one. As a reminding, we also streaming live on CryptoChicksHatchery.com. So if you want any family friends to watch and join you, please go to CryptoChicksHatchery.com. And we have a live stream. All right, so custom speed, forward chain, charity on blocks, abstracta, provenance. Ooh, all right, rewire, claim sure, great. Behind the arts. Lots of abstracta, lots of behind the art. Any other ones? Abstracta, different ones with a different spelling. custom speed forward chain, charity on blocks, rewire, claim sure. Okay, anything else? Any other suggestions? All right, we'll come back to this slide. So today you're going to learn a little bit more about our hatchery. All right, so we have a little quiz for you. Answer, get more points to answering faster. So what is the word name CryptoChicks will be giving out today? Interoperability, sustainability, superiority, immutability. Please answer. And the results. Hoo-hoo! You guessed. All right. Why only 6 people? Okay, if you can go to menti.com on your phone and use the code 76491 to, there you go. So here's the leaderboard. Do you recognize of any of these names? All right. Awesome. How many mentors do we have in the CryptoChicks Hatchery? That's a tough one. 15, 25, 35, or 45? Please try to guess. Just a ballpark number. I bet even Pavel doesn't know that. All right, so it's, yeah, the answer is 35. Awesome, Pavel, you guessed, I can see that. Okay, 35 mentors, yes, we have a 35 mentors. And this is our leaderboard. Jennifer, good job. And Lucia, even better job. Woohoo. All right, so there you go. That's Lucia. You the first one. Great. All right. How many online workshops CryptoChicks Hatchery held in 2019-2020? Yes. Okay, so 5, 10, 7, 13, 20. All right, yes, I know. Just guess any number then. Okay, 13. Good job, guys. Yes, you guessed right. We held 13 workshops throughout the year. And who was first? All right. Ooh, we have people climbing out the leaderboard. Good job. All right, Lucia, Pavel, and Tuito, first 3 places. And we have a last question, very easy one. Where's the CryptoChicks Hatchery webpage? CryptoChicksHatchery.ca, CryptoChicksHatchery.com, CryptoChicksCA/hatchery, or hatchery.com. All right, time is up. So we have, yes, you are correct, but we also have now the CryptoChicksHatchery.com website that goes to CryptoChicks Hatchery CryptoChicks Hatchery, CryptoChicks.ca/hatchery. There you go. I got it right finally as well. And I am not on leaderboard because I'm not participating. All right. Oh, wow. Okay, Lucia, officially the winner. Good job. All right. Yay. Okay, so I will stop sharing my screen, and Pavel will going to go quickly throughout the points that we're going to be covering today and our agenda. Pavel, it's just a second. Let me make you a co-host so you could share the screen.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
I know, right?
I mean, I could off the top of my head do it, but yeah, it's
There
all
you go.
right.
It's all yours now.
All right, I'll just start the presentation. All right, so do that. Then we'll do this. All right, hopefully you guys are able to see this. I'm not hearing any yes or no's, so
yeah,
I'm gonna
yes.
benefit of the doubt. All right, perfect. Thank you, Alina, for that introduction. My name is Pavel. I am the program manager of the CryptoChicks Hatchery program. So today I'll give a real quick overview of of just the schedule of the event as well as the judge format explanation. So let's jump right into it. So right now we're in the introduction portion of today's meeting. Afterwards, I'm going to go over the explanation of the judge's format. Afterwards, we'll go over the judge's introductions. I'll hand it over to Alina. She'll cover that. And then we'll go over the participant presentations. Then we'll do the judge tallying. And finally, we'll go over the winner and the conclusion of today's meeting. So going over, before I start the judge evaluation formats, I want to mention that the focus of these criteria was what the participants have done rather than just the finalized product itself. So with that out of the way, let's get started. What the first criteria is the public presence. What the judges are looking for is that the participants have either built a website, built a social media, built a brand, built that image, and used all these platforms in order to get that image known to the world. Next criteria is the MVP. What was done in terms of the product and what stage is the project on? Is it in a functional working state? Next is the market research response. Where did they go in order to, where did the participants go in order to test their ideas? Which mentors have they talked to? What feedback have they received and how they applied that feedback into their product? Next is the fundraising. Was there any external events where they went to go and talk about their product? Were they in communication with any investors? Did they get any funding at all? Next is the hiring. Were they able to hire any paid or unpaid personnel? Were they be able to attract any co-founders as well? In continuation, moving on to the next criteria of incorporation, was there steps taken in order to incorporate the company or steps that were planned to be taken in order to incorporate? Next criteria is the revenue. Did they receive any revenue for this period? Simple as that. Next is the education. Did they use the CryptoChicks educational resources throughout the program? Were they able to use any other external educational resources? How did they apply those educational resources into their finalized project? Next is problem solving. Every business owner knows and encounters problems during business creation or execution. What were the types of problems that the participants have encountered and what were the steps that they took in order to solve it? Finally, we'll go over the team and individual progression. How has their team evolved through the hatchery program? What new skills have they learned? What sides of the business have they investigated? How are they going to continue on after the hatchery program? So that's the conclusion of the short presentation. I'd now like to hand it back to Alina to continue forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Pavel.
Oh, I guess I need to stop sharing.
Yes, thank you. All right, so we're moving on into a judge's introduction. So we built together a panel that we thought would be very independent. Some of them guys never seen you before. Some of them did, but they did not mentor you exclusively. Right, so we would like to welcome the judging panel, and they're going to be introducing themselves, because I think this is the best way to introduce. They know themselves very well, but we know them too, of course. Lucia, you please introduce yourself. Our first judge, Lucia Gallardo.
Well, hello everyone. My name is Lucia Gallardo, and I'm the founder and CEO of Emerge, and it's a socio-technology lab that focuses on using exponential technologies like blockchain to address humanitarian problems. So sustainability is right up my alley, and I'm very excited to be here today.
Thank you, Lucia. And I just learned the thing that your name pronounced Gallardo. I I know you for like 3 years, yes, but I never called you by your last name. There you go.
Like the Lamborghini, yes.
All right, Irene Catella.
Oh, hi. My name is Irene Catella. I am in the IT space for over over 15 years now, and I'm specializing in anything that has to do with large networks, and more specifically into the blockchain space and cryptocurrencies for the last 5-6 years. I'm also just working in a couple of projects around cryptocurrency and sustainability, as it turns out. My latest project has to do with mining, the real mining, I mean, and the mines, so and so forth. So I'm very happy to be here and see how all the teams progressed over the last few months.
Thank you, Irene. Chris Houston. Chris, please introduce yourself.
Hi there, I'm Chris, longtime founder. I've been involved in starting about half a dozen different companies, and now I'm a venture capitalist. So I'm a partner at Mentella Venture Partners. We invest in early stage tech companies. Ritual is a notable company in our portfolio, amongst others, and happy to be here.
Thank you very much, Chris. Diana Adachi. Diana, I hope I pronounced your name right.
You did. And good afternoon, everyone. And really pleased to be here and to see all your presentations. So I'm also a serial entrepreneur, and last 7 years, about 7 years ago, got into blockchain. I was a global lead for Accenture while I was there for a few years. In global lead in blockchain, and most recently CEO of two different firms that were involved in blockchain. Currently, I'm an advisor to a company called Cambiatus on their board, and they are involved with co-ops and created themselves as a DAO, and a number of their co-ops are all set up as DAOs as well. So anyways, very interested to hear all your projects. Thanks.
Thank you, Diana. Konstantin Borovik.
Hi, my name is Konstantin, and I've been working in IT industry for past 20 years, primarily specializing in IT infrastructure, building the corporate data centers. And for past couple of years, I was focusing on the blockchain and specifically building infrastructure for blockchain companies. And I'm happy to be here. Thanks.
Thank you, Konstantin. Natalia Hearn.
Let me unmute myself here. We're all techies and trying to figure out how to mute and unmute. My name is Natalia Hearn. I'm a serial entrepreneur. My background is materials engineering. Been involved in blockchain for the last probably 5 years. Also experimented of how it is to be not just funding stuff, but to be on the other side. So a year ago, I was part of the CDL first blockchain and AI cohort, actually with one of the CryptoChicks projects, which was it's called QB, and it's focused on monitoring education and education progress globally. And I'm really excited to be part of this and to be seeing new projects come along and how they developed over time. And it's a lot of work, especially when you've got other things that you're working on, like jobs and families and all this kind of stuff. So this is really great.
Thank you, Natalia. Natalia Emeline. I have two Natalias among judges.
Yes, it's a requirement here. Hi, guys. My name is Natalia Amelin. I'm one of the co-founders of CryptoChicks. Very proud that you made all this milestone and made it to our final graduation. Super excited about you. My background is in computer science as well as finance. I worked in the industry for the last 20 years, and my specific experience in strategic financial planning. And at the moment, I'm in charge of global business analytics for a multinational corporation. I got engaged in blockchain world maybe about 5 years ago, and since then have been really passionate about it to the point that we started the CryptoChicks. Good luck.
Thank you, Natalia. Next judge, you know him very, very well, Pavel Sinelnikov. Pavel, please introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Pavel. I am the program manager of CryptoChicks.
There you go. It's all short and nice.
Back to
Yes,
you.
thank you so much, Pavel. And Tanya Lindsay, who is also Jasper.
Hello, everybody. I'm Tanya. I'm a co-founder of CryptoMibs. We have a live gaming platform on the Ethereum blockchain. We are playing in the space of mini puzzle games intersecting digital art. So we're having a lot of fun doing that. And so it's very exciting to be here looking at all the other fun projects that are going on the blockchain. So very happy to be here.
Thank you, Tanya. And last but not the least, Tracy Leparulo. Tracy, please introduce yourself.
Hey guys, I'm Tracy Leparulo. I'm the CEO, founder of Untraceable. I've been working in the blockchain space for quite a few years in the marketing, community building, more angle to it. And I've been part of a lot of incubators from the DMZ to Techstars Mentor. So I'm very big congratulations to everybody and to the team for putting this together, Elena, and excited to judge.
Thank you, Tracy. Thank you. So guys, just going over the rules a little bit. We have 10 minutes for your presentation. We're going to be keeping the timing. So you will hear me say 5 minutes. It means that you have 5 minutes left. Then you will hear me saying 2 minutes. It means 2 minutes left. And then 30 seconds. It means 30 seconds and you have to then stop, and you have to stop after that. Does it work for everybody? We would like everybody to be the same on the same page and to conform to our to the rules. We also will allow 3 questions from the judges to you. To keep it short, please keep it under 30 seconds your answer. So don't go into that many details. Please keep it sweet and short, to 30 seconds per question and 3 questions per team only. Judges receive the ballots. We just had the judges training. They will be evaluating you in all the points. They will be marking you in all the points from 0 to 10. And the person that gets the most number of points basically will win. If we have a tie, so the board of directors, and today we have 5 members of the board of the CryptoChicks. We invited them because this is the board who'd given away the money. We agreed that we're going to be splitting the money between the ties. If you have 2 teams to win, get the same number of points, the money will be split between 2 teams. And if all 7 win, then all 7 going to share the money. So please, we're going to do the presentation in that order. In the alphabetical order. We have Abstracta go first, followed by Behind the Art, then Charity on Blocks, Custom Speed, Forward Chain, Rewire, and then Warrior. Abstracta, please get ready. Any questions? Okay, so any questions, you're actually allowed to unmute your microphone, or so there would be a good time to ask questions right now. No questions. All right, let me just find Vesta and Tanya. Vesta, Tanya, you have anybody else who presenting with you?
Yep, there's Mike also.
Michael, let me find Michael.
Michael Santi.
Okay, there you go. Just found Michael Santi. All right, so just don't start yet. I need to find the way to time you.
Do we share our screens when you're ready?
Yeah, you can share screen right now already. Yes.
One second.
Just a second, I have a little bit of the. Okay, guys, you can start.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Today, we'd like to introduce you all to a product we've named Abstracta. This is a product that my colleagues and I believe could change the way real, verifiable scientific data can be shared and put to use by the whole scientific community. So this is what the research pipeline looks like today. First, a researcher will identify a topic of study, make a hypothesis about this topic, and start experimentation to validate their hypothesis. And once the results are obtained, the researcher will organize these results and start sharing them with the research community. So communicating this research can take on many formats, like either presenting at a conference or other types of scientific meetings, or publishing work in a preprint journal like arXiv. And this step is important because it's gaining feedback in preparation for the ultimate goal, which is to publish in a peer-reviewed journal, hopefully with a high impact factor. So the unfortunate part about this process is that not all research gets used because a significant amount of it is not necessary for the publication you're preparing. So this can be because the results that were obtained were unexpected or dropped because they did not support the initial hypothesis, or the research perhaps wasn't completed for technical reasons and partial results that were obtained were insufficient. But this is still good data. The research behind it has been carried out with rigor. The problem is just that this data has no purpose and no home. But given to the right scientist, this data can make a world of a difference. At the moment, there isn't a simple, clear way to share unpurposed, in-progress research, and instead, most of it is discarded and wasted.
We make data useful by providing a home for work in progress research. In this home, you can find collaborators for your unused research. You can share what you're working on. You can even search other people's progress and see what they've been up to. What's the benefit? Save time, it's streamlined, so less effort, and all of your data gets used rather than just the percentage for your final publication. More ROI for your labor. So what is Abstracta? Abstracta is a platform that allows people to submit and timestamp progress, share via the searchable database and tagging feature, and collaborate due to the matching capabilities. Why do we use blockchain? Because of the secure exchange of data via smart contracts. Using Abstracta means you agree to the terms of collaboration. Anytime someone requests your research, you agree to give it. Anytime you provide your research, they agree to cite you. This is what makes Abstracta trusted by the academic community.
When we talk about the research that would be housed on Abstracta, what do we mean by that? What sort of research is it? The kind of data we will house on Abstracta will be any verifiable data obtained through experimentation and testing that you are not intending to use in your publication. We call this work in progress research or WIP research. So now that you have this WIP research, we want to make the process of getting it up and circulating as easy as possible. Abstracta offers a streamlined submission process where each submission to the platform equals one result from one experiment. There's no unnecessary formatting, no time-consuming write-ups, only a very short summary of the one experiment is required to post. This approach gives us the flexibility to pair results and makes it really easy for other researchers to understand and collaborate. Abstracta will also take the WIP research and generate a personalized progress history page that functions like a project management tool for scientists. We see this as being an important feature and a huge win for the academic community. So now we're just going to move on to some progress updates, let you know what's been going on. We'll start with behind the scenes and then move on to the MVP. So starting with behind the scenes, We've been working on our public presence by building a website that's focused on just capturing emails of interested parties. We've also revised our brand and have engaged in public and potential client communications. We've also started to establish ourselves as passionate blockchain enthusiasts in the community by presenting workshops on Intro to Blockchain and Smart Contracts 101 for students here and in other provinces. For market research, we've dived deep into streamlining our user experience, tested our ideas with the lab in INRS, and gained valuable feedback on what is really needed by the scientific community.
5 minutes.
We've also done survey interviews and in-person interviews. We've also immersed ourselves in the problem space and identified gaps in our current solutions. And finally, we have expanded our team to include a branding, UX, UI, and storytelling expert. So next is on to MVP updates. We've taken a tiered approach to our MVP development based on what we see as our core features. First is to develop a database with timestamp submissions and making that database searchable. Second feature is the Your History page I discussed earlier, which I will reiterate as being a ledger of all the WIP research you have currently logged on Abstracta. Next is the development of 2 features focused on inspiring collaboration. One is a Who's Viewed Your Submissions page, and the second is creating a matchmaking algorithm that could connect different users based on results that they've posted. And finally, as we've mentioned, we will also be integrating smart contract capability based on a collaboration agreement to ensure trust.
What makes our team the best to solve this problem and bring this product to market? We're 3 forward-thinking blockchain enthusiasts from Montreal and Toronto, active in our research fields. Mike is a design consultant with a focus on narrative and human-centered design thinking. Vesta is a scientist in the field of biotechnology and synthetic biology. And I study foresight and AI ethics research. We have firsthand knowledge of the problems we're directly addressing. Additionally, working within the startup ecosystem has become second nature for us. Whether that's working for a startup directly, starting our own company, or working within an incubator, we understand the work and drive required for success for this position. At this stage of the game, we're looking for help in 2 main areas. First, we're looking for insight and guidance on our MVP. And second, we're looking for non-traditional business models and help with sourcing grants.
So we've imagined the reality in which we would like to thrive as scholars and innovators and envision Abstracta as part of this reality. Unpublished findings to the field of research is like dark matter to the universe. So let's make it visible. Thank you. That's the end.
Thank you, guys. You were able to do it in 7 minutes and 30 seconds. Yay. Good job. So we will give just a little bit time for our judges to fill the ballots. They fill in the ballots. They also fill in the feedback for you. So behind the art, Casey, please get ready. We are going to... Why don't I load another, maybe the quiz that we're going to do? So judges, you don't have to do this quiz. I just want to entertain the audience while we are there. Oh, yes. Thank you so much. Just reminding me that we have questions. Thank you very much for keeping me on track. Yes, so we have
basic question. Out of 10, we're doing this out of 10, each one? Okay, right.
Yes. So this is, yeah, judges, just remind you, this is from 0 to 10. Please put your numbers from 0 to 10. If you have any questions, by the way, please raise your hand, and we have 3 questions to ask the team. Okay, Lucia, there you go. Please unmute yourself and ask.
Great. So I do have a question for the team. Can you just walk me through a little bit about how you thought through the relationship dynamics between a researcher and the institution and organizations that sponsor or fund the research or co-own the research in any way, and how you're sort of thinking through those dynamics as the data would also impact them and their ownership status?
I can take that if you want, Tanya, or... yeah, so Abstracta isn't meant to change the way that data is owned by the institution or by the researcher themselves. Everything, all the research that you've been doing belongs to you and your institution already. So Abstracta is just there to share that research. So we're not creating any new rules or a new framework. This is already what is happening today, except we don't have a platform to house this research. Instead, right now, what we're doing is exposing it through meetings, through conferences, through other types of presentations, which all require you to physically be there, you know, you can like network face to face. So Abstracta is really just another platform to house that research. I don't know if that answers your question, or if Tanya, you had anything to add.
Sure. Sorry, keep going. Did you want me to continue on that?
No, that was.
Oh.
So Lucia, did it answer your question?
Oh, sure. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Great. So Diana, please ask your question.
Sure. Sorry. So it wasn't clear. I think, Michael, you talked a little bit about the MVP. So do you have all those elements done? The searchable, the history, the matching, smart contracts?
I can take that one. So no, we don't currently have that done. What we have developed is the roadmap according to what features we really need to build out from the very beginning. So first is just getting that functioning database, getting it, ensuring that we can search within that database, and then building out the other features. But that's what we're kind of on right now, is how to get that MVP up and running based off of all of the research and all of the user input that we've gathered talking to different communities.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Konstantin, your question?
Sorry, guys. The question, sorry if I missed it. Do you have a website, functioning website?
Yes.
Can you post the URL, please?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Very good question. Thank you. We have one more question, but we are at the limit of 3 questions. So Irene, can you please post this question in the chat so team can answer your question? Thank you so much. Yes, thank you. Thank you. All right. So judges, yes, from now on, you can fill the ballots. And please remind me if I forget to ask the questions again. There you go. So yeah. All the judges supposed to receive their ballots and email. If you don't have your ballots, please contact Natalia Ameline. All right, so while judges are filling the ballots, we're going to do another quiz. Yeah, why not? All right. All right, so everybody who is not filling the ballot, please go to menti.com and use the code 327957. 327957, and we can start the quiz. Menti.com 327957. Name CryptoChicks Hatchery projects that have researchers among their target audience. Warrior, Abstracta, Behind the Art, Custom Speed. Just guess who have researchers among their target audience: Warrior, Abstracta, Behind the Art, or Custom Speed. You have 30 more seconds to answer this question, and judges, please fill your ballots. Name CryptoChicks Hatchery projects that have researchers among their target audience, and the answers are Warrior, Abstracta, Behind the Art, Custom Speed. Please select all, 1 or more. And we're almost done. Time is up. Abstracta, yes, you were all listening to the presentation very well, but we have one more project that is going to be actually presenting next. And Casey is going to tell you about that as well. So on that, so that was the question. Judges, you still have time to fill your ballots. I'm going to, Casey, I'm going to make you also a co-host, and you will be able to start presenting. Just get ready, maybe start sharing your screen, and I can tell you when you can start presenting. We still have judges working on the ballots, so just stay with us. All right, judges, I hope you're ready. I gave you some time to do that. Are we good to go? Are we ready to go with the ballot? Okay, looks like judges are ready. All right, Casey, you can start presenting.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. My name is Casey Kesterson, and this is a progress report for my project Behind the Art, a platform that will combine blockchain and artificial intelligence with art world knowledge, providing a speedier, less costly method to conduct thorough research. Participating in the CryptoChicks Hatchery has been fantastic, and my project has benefited enormously from the experience. Let me now walk you through my accomplishments of the last 9 months, much of which was completed in the face of obstacles. I was able to complete a first draft of the white paper and business plan based on the specifications provided by the hatchery. I completed a pitch deck. I've talked to several members in the target market, including auction houses and dealers, about the technology, working with the data in order to better understand its usefulness and how this is a more time and cost-efficient method than what they are doing now. At this moment, the art world is undergoing drastic changes due to the coronavirus. From the start, Behind the Art was conceived with the knowledge that most companies have limited manpower and budgets to conduct provenance research. Now, with significant layoffs and budget cuts as a result of the pandemic, I firmly believe the art world will see a greater need for a more cost and time-efficient way to conduct research and will find great value in this platform. At the moment, I'm lacking a team, including a technical expert to help build the minimum viable product. However, using Canva and InVision, I was able to build a simple prototype for the MVP, which will give you an idea of how this will work. On the platform, I'm going to enter the number that appears on the stretcher of the painting. All the documentation that relates to the painting will appear in the search, not just documentation that contains the number. This is a smart search made possible with artificial intelligence. When I click on a document, the main record for that document appears. Note, it is this documentation that is tracked with blockchain, and each document will have a unique document ID. In addition to the project milestones, I've engaged in several educational resources during the course of the hatchery. This includes all the workshops graciously organized by CryptoChicks, the business coaching program, Idea to Profit, which I joined in April of this year. The program is led by mentor Sandra Francisco, and with this resource, I'm looking to further develop, refine, and scale the business. Over the course of the hatchery, I've consulted with several expert ledger to allow for a private and permissioned blockchain platform. The platform will also incorporate artificial intelligence. For this, IBM's Watson seems a sound choice. Because it is important for me to understand the technology, at least on a high level, I've immersed myself in the many resources offered by IBM for Hyperledger and Watson. Despite the obstacles, I remain optimistic in the future of this project. I'm very grateful to CryptoChicks and all the mentors who took the time to sit down with me and share their advice. Thank you for allowing me to provide this status report for my project, Behind the Art.
Thank you, Casey. That was very, very informative in a very concise time. I know, yeah, that you must have attended track workshop on the yes on how to do the speech and convey your message to the audience. Very, very well done. Thank you very much. Judges, your questions, please raise your hand. Irene, please go ahead.
Yeah, I do have a question about your efforts around fundraising or just attracting, funds for the project.
Sure.
Also,
Sure. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No.
Okay.
Go ahead.
At this point, until I have an MVP, it's been a little bit difficult for me to do any fundraising. It more has to do with when I build the MVP, I can actually interact more with the target audience and get great feedback from them. And then it seems to me to make sense to then go after the fundraising, because then I'll have a much better idea about the usefulness of the project.
Thank you.
Thank you, Irene. Konstantin, please ask your question.
Casey, could you please explain a little bit more details? What the problem are you solving? We just get general sense of it, but can you please give us an example?
Sure. So in order for an auction house or a dealer to be able to sell a work of art, if that work of art has a gap in World War II, let's say, you need to do a certain amount of due diligence to show where that work of art was. If it was in Europe, you have to make sure that it is clear that the work of art itself wasn't looted. This is a small but very well-known understanding of the need for provenance research.
Okay, thank you.
Awesome, thank you. Any other questions? I don't see any raised hands, judges. So I take it that we don't have any more questions here. If you still have a question after I start sharing my screen and continue with the quiz, we'll post it in the chat.
May I suggest something, because it's the second project that I see that could the teams also comment if they are just taking any steps in incorporation, because none of the two teams have just really mentioned anything in their presentation. So
I think that can be qualified as the question. Thank you, Irene. So Casey, to you, it's a question like any steps that you consider towards the incorporation?
No, I haven't. At this point, I don't have web presence, and I haven't done an incorporation yet.
Thank you so much. All right, so judges, please fill in your ballots. And let me move on into this the presentation. Get back to your phones while the judges fill in the ballots. Oh, by the way, so here was the leaderboard of the previous question. All right, so John, good job. Okay. Another question, select CryptoChicks Hatchery projects that have donations as a part of their business model. Rewire, Charity on Blocks, Custom Speed, and Warrior. And you have entire 37 seconds to answer this question. Select CryptoChicks Hatchery projects. They have donation as part of their business model. Judges, please take your time filling in the ballots while our audience, mentors, and participants are answering these fun questions. So it's Rewire, Charity on Blocks, Custom Speed, or Warrior. All right, and time is almost up. And Charity on Blocks and the Warrior, these were the correct answers. And let's take a look at the leaderboard. Okay, let's see. Who was the first one to answer? Ashley. Ashley, good job. Agent X9 and Puffy are the runners up. Okay, so judges, are you done filling in the ballots? All right, so we are getting ready to our next presenter. Our next presenter, Charity on Blocks. Okay, so let me, Lakshmi, let me make you a co-host. Lakshmi, you presenting alone or you have anybody else with you?
Alone.
Awesome. Okay, you can start sharing your screen and I can tell you when you start presenting. Are you ready?
Yep.
You can start.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, everyone. Wonderful Saturday. My project is Charity on Block, and the concept came during hackathon in Toronto. This is the concept which we came with my co-founder. She's not anymore in the project, but their family runs a small charity organization, small NGO, um, which provides education to kids from grade 1 to grade 12. They get the funding from a Spain-based organization, and that was based on their relationship with the funder. But when the person who used to support the funding was no more there with the organization, they were struggling a lot. So there was one girl who was very, very good in her education and wanted to be an engineer, but there was no money to support her education. And the NGO has no support after grade 12. And I work with an organization called Tech Data, and we had a colleague who was interested in knowing about developing countries and knowing about India, where I was from. And she was looking for an NGO where she wants to support girls in their life for education or career. So, and I saw the gap where there are donors who want to donate, but they don't have the trust whether that particular donation will go to the beneficiary. And then there are these beneficiaries who are looking for donors to fulfill their dreams or education or any kind of support. So that's my problem, is to have those small NGOs which has genuine cases and not getting enough fund to support their beneficiaries. And the problem I'm trying to address is decrease in trust. So everyone knows that there are $14 billion donated in North America, but is the issues getting resolved? And we are seeing that there is a decrease in donation every year, 1/3 decrease. So the trust is, we are losing that. Then for small NGOs, access to IT resources is a major pain. They don't have funds to support their IT resources. And donors have no time to find the truth in the story. So with that, we came up with a vision that we want to build a platform for small NGOs with real cause and increase donors' goodwill by building trust through transparency. And the value proposition we were using is open source, speed of development, and transparency. And our customer segments are donors and small scale NGOs. So the solution definitely to build trust using blockchain and help the small NGOs with their donation projects, putting them into websites or putting their projects into our website, something like that, and helping them with automation, then doing a digital marketing for them. And then later on, when we have enough data, we will build an AI analysis on what is the real causes which are there in the market and how much donation has gone there and where the government can spend more money or more support to those causes. So it's a high level flow for the concept. Usually an NGO will either post their project in their website, or they can approach us and we will post their project in Charity on Block. Donors who are looking for cause with soft corner will choose what they want to donate, which project they want to donate. And when they click the donate button, it will redirect to charity on blog, either from NGO website or directly to our website. Then they will log in and register and then select the amount, how much they want to pay and what method you want to pay. It's not only the cryptocurrency, but we are allowing them to pay through PayPal or any credit card or debit. And we will track all those donations through smart contract. And the NGOs will receive their amount directly either into their account or if they have a wallet, they will receive it into their wallet. So these are our services. We will develop the beneficiary information, digital forms, and then build the smart contract for that particular project.
5 minutes.
Hello?
5 minutes. You have 5 minutes left.
Sorry. Okay. Then we do the marketing, and then this is how it flows. And the crowdfunding can choose whatever method they want to choose, select the payment, and they'll be tracked. So this is a high-level website. I was in development. I'm just going slow, and there can be any number of projects. And this is how it's going to look. We are going to track the donation through the token. Each dollar which is donated to the project will have a 1 token value, and then we will track all the token donations. So if you look at the market in Mississauga, this is Mississauga, we have so many and small NGOs. And sorry about that. And I wanted to highlight, I'm so sorry. So I have. Okay, so if you see that based on a research, out of 100 NGOs which was contacted if they are interested in blockchain-based solution, so one is accepting the token, and there are only 6 of them in Canada accepting Bitcoins, but there are 24 of them who are willing to accept either crypto or we can use blockchain. So there is a market for me to target. My competitors there is one company which was registered in February 2020, giving a blockchain as a service, but the rest of them are not. Either they are very localized or else they are not using the blockchain as a technology. And that's how my revenue I'll be getting from the projects. So far, I would consider this as a year 0. I did a lot of research and a lot of education through CryptoChicks. I approached state government in India to get their support and how we can integrate their educational institutions, NGOs, and the government. And it's still under, my website is still under development. And then I was interviewing some candidates for smart contract development. It didn't go through because of the funding. I'm still looking for funds so that I can pay the students or co-op. And I'm working with a small NGO in Brampton here, so that that will be my first customer to help with. And they are also the organization where I volunteer and I support donation to them.
You have 2 minutes.
And I have incorporated a company, and also got a bank credit, business credit of $10,000. So next steps would be to get more a developer and then engage CryptoChicks in technological support. So that's my team. I'm looking for co-founders so that we can move fast with my development. Thank you.
Thank you, Lakshmi. You can stop sharing.
Yes.
Yeah, sure. Stop sharing your screen. Any questions, judges? Please raise your hand so we can. ask Lakshmi a question. I don't see any raised hands. So obviously, Lakshmi, you. Oh yeah. Okay. Just a sec. Just a sec. Yeah. I'm just, somebody tells me that. Yes, Chris, please go ahead.
Yeah, there we go. I'm just curious. So in the discussions you've had with potential users of this, how much have you talked about kind of their pain points, their problems? What have you heard from them into the challenges that that they have?
So I have approached one small NGO and then another NGO in India. Okay, so the NGO in Brampton is about, like, because of COVID, their fundraising, usually they do a fundraising every summer and they do an event. So now that has impacted, right? And they are only going with their own localized referenced fund, asking for donations. So that has decreased. So the major pain point is like, one is marketing, okay, reaching those donors and to show that, yes, this is going to the real cause where it should be, that person is the beneficiary, identifying that beneficiary to the to bring that transparency. So, and they don't have they don't want to go for blockchain based solution because it's expensive for them. So all they have is a website, and they post it and then they put their financial statement, which doesn't tell me that how much money went to that beneficiary. I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, Chris, let us know.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chris. Thank you. Lucia, please ask your question.
Hi, sorry, I think, can you just tell us a little bit more about your experience in terms of where you're coming from in building this? Like, what inspired you to build this? Why are you focusing on this problem specifically? Is there anything in your sort of past experience that would make you feel strongly about solving this problem?
One thing is, like, as I said, my family friend, she runs the NGO, and that's where the experience came. And she was sharing all those stories, which really like changed me to look into this problem. And I have my own kid, and I can see that how much it takes effort and money to make him go to a college or education. And I wanted to do something for the rural India and the girls, because I come from that village, and I can see that somehow I'm in a position where I can support them. So with NGO experience, I don't have anything, but I'm a business analyst. I have been working on building solutions. So that's what I bring as my strength, to understand the pain points of the customers and build a solution for them.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. And Diana has a question. Diana, please go ahead.
So I just wanted to clarify, Badri, that what you're solving for, I think, is on transparency for the donors, so that they know that their money is being used specifically for a particular, it goes towards a particular NGO, and that NGO is making progress on their as part of their organization. Is that correct? Because I'm a little confused about when you're talking about your son's or your son's education.
Yeah, so it started with kids' education, supporting girls' education. It started with that. And then to get the funds, we need transparency. So there were like two stories which came up, and I tried to make the link between them. So my co-worker want to donate money, but they are not confident whether the money will go to the beneficiary. And then there is a beneficiary who's looking for money. So one is transparency, and other is like helping that small NGO to build that trust and say that donor, yes, I'm using blockchain, and this is how the project's fundings will be traced and available.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so that was all the questions. Please, judges, please take your time to fill a ballot. And we can go ahead with, so please, everybody else, please go to menti.com and use code 327957. And I'm going to display the next question for your amusement. Name CryptoChicks Hatchery projects that will use transportation in their business model. Custom speed, forward chain, behind the art, and abstractor. Please name CryptoChicks Hatchery projects that will use transportation in their business model. Custom speed, forward chain, behind the art, and abstractor. You have 22 seconds to answer that. Oh, everyone has voted. Awesome. Custom speed, right? So that, but we have another one that is going to present right after custom speed. Our custom speed is going to go next. So ladies, please get ready while the judges, please still fill your ballots. So in the meantime, I will make you a co-host. So Gaia and Jen, you also have somebody else to present with you?
No, just Jennifer.
No, okay, just Jennifer. Okay. So Gaia, you're not going to be presenting, right?
No, Jennifer and myself, both of us will be presenting.
Both of you. Okay, so I'll just make you both our co-hosts. All right, so just don't start yet. We'll have to make sure that judges have all the attention on you. Judges, let me know if you finished marking down the charity on blocks. All right, so looks like judges are ready. Just please bear with me a second. All right, so you can start presenting.
Hello, we're Custom Speed, and this is Jennifer and Gaia. We're the co-founders of Custom Speed, and we have an intern and 3 mentors joining us on the call today. And we also have a 4th mentor, Sandra D. Francisco, from the free business mentoring program Idea to Profit that we're part of, joining us as well. Our original idea was to reduce customs border delays by creating a hyperledger that stores customs documents and verifies the authenticity and accuracy of customs documents. Our solution would save money, drive faster deliveries, create a better work environment for drivers, and create less idling. We use an extensive methodology to speak to the 4 supply chain participants. We directly spoke to more than a dozen supply chain participants with various roles. We found that they experienced delayed communication from customs brokers, especially if they were not direct customers or if they were small companies. Customs brokers are not actually required in the process, but participants feel that they don't have any other effective alternatives. We pretended to be shippers ourselves and inquired 10 customs brokers about the import process and service rates. We experienced the same communication challenges, and we were asked like a lot of information over and over again and requested information not required for customs, sparking privacy concerns. We collected and analyzed open data on border wait times for commercial trucks from 2016 to 2019. Here's some of the analyses. We also found that there's a lot of uncertainty with border wait times, and the total wait times led to financial losses and emotional toll. We did a competitive analysis of our competitors in the blockchain and supply chain trade technology spaces. We found that they lacked user focus on user friendliness, didn't focus on the core problem, and also lacked transparency on how much their product costs and how it worked. We also attended webinars, conferences, and talks in relation to international shipping. Here are some examples. We also monitored 2 Facebook groups of logistics professionals studying to become customs brokers. Major takeaways is that in the post-COVID-19 market, there's a huge opportunity for a digitized customs brokerage solution now that there's more new importers as the US and Canada tries to diversify their supply chain. Future shortage of customs brokers and customs patrol officers as exams are canceled and training centers are closed, and more need for work from home options for customs as ports close due to COVID-19 cases. Despite a trade decline, there's gonna be trade growth for some products. there's going to be a need for a platform to track for domestic compliance, such as FDA regulations. And supply chain participants still want market-driven, data-driven market insights.
Our industry research here focuses on the key technologies. So we initially had some assumptions on EDI versus blockchain adoption challenges, but over time we kind of verified that there's a possibility to build an existing market with building a new layer on top of EDI. Next. So the EDI solutions market, if we say it's on top with North America, and there's a 20/80 split between small and medium enterprises and large enterprises. And to the right, we see some of the key EDI activities within this supply chain. Next. So we also see that's a growing trend of using API over EDI because of less setup time cost, less back and forth interactions between participants, and also you can integrate within the existing workflow. Next. In terms of university educational resources, we kind of tapped into the product management instructor at Brain Station in Toronto in evaluating the risk of switching between a platform or a niche solution, potential market entry issues, what we might be running into, and also some of the links that we may have to establish with key players in the market.
We decided that our main customers can be shippers because they're the ones to decide what, when, and how the shipment is sent overseas. We found through our market research that they really need help with that starting process, better communication, and better data privacy. So we're going to tackle the main problem of communication, which will show the MVP. It's going to be a transparent marketplace, instantly searchable, verified broker services. We record customer orders and using a blockchain to reward participants for effective communication and data. And in the future, we will use more guided research to validate some of that, the original idea. We showed the wireframes and prototype in the December 2019 and March 2020 meetings. And here's our current prototype. So the shipper can go in and without logging in or providing information, they can search for rates. And their orders will be put on the private blockchain. They can see the recent orders that a customs broker has done.
5 minutes.
They can select a customs broker, and then they can use different ways to upload or answer questions about their shipment. So if they want to answer their questions, the platform will provide them with some questions. And if they want to upload, they can upload. And then all these documents will be verified on the private blockchain. And using AI, it will tell if there's any missing info or errors. And then in the shipment notification center, they can reward different participants for updating them about the shipments. And also there will be data, and some of the data, for market trends, can be used. Some of the data can be used for market trends. Of course, there'll be some, we'll integrate some privacy into that, but the idea is we don't want shippers to be paying currently shipping consortiums to get market trends. They, as a whole, they can come together and share pieces of their data to understand about the market. So here's some of the key features. Unfortunately, due to time, we'll skip over these. And like I mentioned, using blockchain resources, we want to ensure the identity of documents and protect identity and data participants using private blockchain, encourage collaboration and communication using a reward system using stablecoin, and have and track information needed for regulation using immutable ledger.
In terms of machine learning opportunities, we'll have to provide recommendations for new shippers on filling documents to avoid errors and also pick the best resources so that they don't face any delays. But we kind of lack contextual customs focused data set at this point. So we kind of decided on the roadmap that we may have to let the users use the application, use that data to provide them the required value, and also promise them privacy and anonymity along the process. Yes.
In the future, we really want to tackle this data capture problem and focus on security and privacy. We have taken steps to incorporate. We do want to incorporate both the United States and Canada due to our citizenship and receiving funding resources from both countries. We haven't just incorporated just yet because we want to change our name. That's really important to us.
You have 2 minutes left.
Our initial funding strategy is we want to partner with customs brokers and large shippers to build this technology for them, secure government contracts, apply for blockchain development grants, and we also want to be self-funded as well. We applied to a couple, and we also attended some workshops where we learned about accelerators and free development resources for startups. And long-term, we want to make a margin and also a small transaction fee on the rewards and subscription for additional services. I believe we had some slides on our public presence, but I'm not sure where they went. So I just will talk about it. We actually did create like a website, and we did create like a website, GitHub, and a YouTube. We also created using our market research, created marketing material, and also we presented at the CryptoChicks Bahamas hackathon, the blockchain futurist conference, and Major League Hacking conferences. And we also attended
30 seconds.
Yeah, we also attended 2 networking events, and we're also part of 4 supply chain centric technology organizations, such as the Canadian Supply Chain Blockchain Association. Awesome. Thank you. We had a little bit more slides, but we'll end there. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jen. Thank you, Gaia. You can stop sharing your screen. You're right on time. Good job, guys, girls.
Thank you.
All right, so judges, your questions, please raise your hands. Okay, Diana, please go ahead.
So besides the 2 of you, is there anybody else that's involved in this?
Yeah, we do have an intern. She is focused on the law piece, and that's it thus far.
Okay.
So where is your intern from? Oh, sorry, this is not qualified as a question. I just want to just a clarification for the judges too.
She's actually from Nigeria.
There you go.
And yeah, and she's a lawyer focusing on blockchain, and I believe she's on the call, or she was on the call. She has some, I think she had some technical difficulties.
Yeah, I hope she's on the call. It's a Faith, right?
Yes, it's Faith.
It's a Faith, yes. Okay, any other questions? Constantine, please go ahead.
Do you have, guys, do you have a website?
Yes, we do have a website. I'll send it over right now.
Awesome. I don't see it in the chat yet. I'm not sure if anybody sees it.
Jennifer, you mentioned that you want to change the name. What are your name options that you're looking for?
Lots of different ones. I think that we're trying to just like pick a name that is like one letter. I think, not one letter, one word, like one word. Guy, do you remember any of them top of my head? I can just search for them right now.
Nothing's coming to my head right away. We had like 10 to 15 names after a lot of brainstorming, but honestly, I don't have. Yeah, we didn't want to like limit to a specific topic. We wanted to be a very general name. So since it's easier for incorporation and for reference, and we can also expand or pivot in the long term, like if in case there's a need. That was the consideration when we were brainstorming. So
can I make an observation on that?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, please.
Sure.
So in the previous mentee game, the question related to which of the startups related to transportation, and everybody voted for your startup because it was adamantly, like it was incredibly clear what it is that you do. So I would encourage that even if you do change the name, that you sort of preserve that clarity, because it did give everyone sort of like, even if they hadn't looked at your presentation, it was really straightforward enough to know that that's what you were going to be pitching about.
Thank you. Thank you for the suggestion.
Awesome suggestion. Thank you, Alicia. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, judges, I believe we have, no, we don't have any more questions for this, for custom speed. So please, judges, please go ahead, fill your ballots while I continue with the presentation of the questions. And here's the leaderboard for the previous one. Let's see. All right. So Tracy, congratulations, followed right by with Lucia. Good job. So that was very clear about the transportation question. All right, which project joined CryptoChicks Hatchery first? So this one you cannot know, so just please guess. Rewire, Forward Chain, Charity on Blocks, and Abstracta. Please go ahead and guess, just make a wild guess. Or maybe if you are from this project and you know who you are, please go ahead and mark yourself up on the leaderboard. Which project joined CryptoChicks Hatchery first? So the very first one joined a very first cohort of the CryptoChicks Hatchery. I have only 6 seconds left. Judges, please work on your ballots. All right, time is up. And all right, so here is the answer. Rewire joined our hatchery first. So that's, you guys were a little bit wrong about that. And please see the leaderboard. Okay, so who was the one? Okay, Puffy. Somehow you knew it. I don't know how, but somehow you knew it. Very proud of you. Thank you so much. Okay, so judges, we are good to go. Okay, so let me see. Forward chain. So Lee May, are you here? Are you ready to present?
Yes. Hi, everybody.
You are. Okay, that's awesome. Okay, so let me find you and I will make you a co-host. All right, so you have, do you have anyone else that will be presenting and sharing screen?
Yes, Rachel Eisner.
Okay, Rachel, just a second. Let me just find Rachel. All right. Okay, Rachel and?
Sammy.
Sam, all right.
Sammy
Okay, just,
Rusopny.
Just bear with me while I find Sam and I, okay, make a co-host. All right, just a second, please. Are you ready?
I'm ready and excited.
Okay, awesome. Please go ahead. You have 10
minutes? Okay.
10 minutes.
My connection's dropped 3 times so far, so fingers crossed that everything's good. So hello, everyone. My name's Lee May Nicoletos, and my project name is Forward Chain. It is incorporated, and the website is fwdchain.net. Joining me today are my partners from ShipChain, Sammy Rusani and Rachel Eisner. My project solves a problem of transparency in the supply chain. The business goal of Forward Chain is to sell blockchain product verification to small businesses using ShipChain services. With Forward Chain, customers have the option to receive product delivery using commuters already in their regular transit routes, hence lowering carbon emissions. I've created a front end, and I'm partnering with ShipChain service to deliver the back end. Today, we are happy to share a product demonstration. We've chosen a product we love, and that's coffee. Did you know that there are 30 million coffee farmers around the world? Yes, that many. For us to truly enjoy a hot cup of coffee, we want to know that the coffee bean farmers follow labor, environmental, and quality standards. We want to know that forced and child labor is prohibited. In Canada, this certification organization is Fairtrade Canada. Our vision and product transparency would pull current Fairtrade status of a specific farm from blockchain records and display it in the ship chain document management feature, which we will show you shortly. And the same process repeated for organic certified status. Blockchain verified product tracking from crop to cup. Now that we can trust our coffee beans are ethical and organic, what an amazing value add it would be to deliver beans using low carbon footprint delivery service, employing commuters already in transit. That's where Forward Chain's commuter service delivery comes in. Screen drivers use a mobile ship chain app and delivery is tracked in real time to the blockchain. Metrics such as temperature, shock, exposure, and more can be tracked depending on the need. ShipChain's back-end service uses an Ethereum platform, Etherscan, and a sidechain built on the Loom network. Can Team ShipChain please show us a product demonstration?
Thank you, Lee May. We put together, as you can see, we put together an actual example of what it might look like when a Forward Chain verified driver picks up a shipment and delivers it to its destination. We've used dummy data to visualize this process. So look out for Easter eggs, like, for example, the coffee is being shipped to CryptoChicks. Sammy, I'll pass it to you. Oh, Sammy, your quality, your sound quality. Oh, Sammy, sorry, we can't hear you. I don't know if you can hear me.
Looks like we have a technical difficulty and Sammy cannot hear us, so maybe we cannot hear him. I'm not sure if you can fill in for Sammy, that would be awesome. So we would not lose any time.
Can you guys hear me now?
Oh, yes, we can hear you. Awesome.
Okay, fantastic. Sorry about that, guys. It's Zoom acting up. I said I have a timer running, so no need for time announcements. I'll run through this real quick. So the Forward Chain verified driver will see when a delivery is available on our mobile app, and they'll pick up the shipment, and then they'll be prompted to take a picture of the shipment. And this shipment can come from a farm, it can come from a roasting facility, or wherever you want. Now, they can take a picture to make sure they're picking up the right cargo in the right condition and take ownership, digital ownership of the delivery. Now, if we go to the next slide, here are the shipment and tracking details. So once the verified driver picks up the delivery, we will be able to track and verify wherever it is. You see the map view up on the left side, which shows in real time where the transportation and the cargo is. And you can display different kinds of details, such as the linked devices, meaning any mobile phones you have linked, or any IoT devices that measure, such as GPS location, shock, temperature, etc., whatever is needed. Documents is a big thing, of course. We've previously seen here, import-export documents are important. We can have bills of lading. We have pictures, purchase orders, certificates that are needed along the supply chain, etc. And the full transaction history is certified on the public blockchain, of course. We're not going to get into a discussion on private versus public, but this is in a way more secure manner than any private solutions currently, of course. So with any historical changes, a small business can actually track exactly when the delivery changes hands and when documents are added along the way. And as we all know, immutability is an important word in the blockchain environment, meaning none of this information can ever be altered, can only be updated with new information.
We have 5 minutes left.
Yeah, I know. Then they can click the link for the transaction hash to verify what was hashed on the blockchain via Etherscan. So if we click that and look at the next slide, this is what ShipChain posts to the blockchain. We do not post the actual data, we post a hash. And for those of you who don't know what a hash is, look at it as a notarization of documents, or sometimes we describe it as a fingerprint, because you can verify that someone was there, but you can never recreate the human being, at least not yet. And that's exactly what we do. If anything changes, even a little comma anywhere on a document, it'll report a different hash and therefore flag it in the system. And if you go to the next slide, we can see that when the forward chain verified driver arrives at the destination, so in the mobile app, they will prompt a drop-off and delivery confirmation. You can take a picture if you want to make sure that the cargo hasn't been damaged along the way, and then pass the digital ownership of the delivery to the destination. And it's all recorded in our system. If you go to the next one, of course, we've had several clients do this, but this is a great kind of meet your farmer opportunity for consumer visibility and marketing opportunities, because it presents a premium branding opportunity, increases the consumer confidence to see, where does my coffee really come from? And since it's truthfully verified on a blockchain, you have that provenance factor in it, right? You can see all the way back to the beginning. And this was a slide generated for a company in the meat industry, but instead of where it says lack of hormones and antibiotics, we could of course say that it's certified organic, it lacks pesticides, and any other information that you would want there. So you can even meet the farmers, see the family pictures, or whatever goes on there. So because this blockchain data is already being used as part of the supply chain use case here. That's about it, I think. Your next slide.
Thank you. Thank you, Sammy and Rachel. I really appreciate it. And my message to the CryptoChicks is thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity. And to investors, this is social impact investing. You have the opportunity to make a positive change with me at the ground level to build a better world. Imagine building a better place for global change. And I'd love to hear from you so we can build together. Thank you.
Thank you, Lee May. You can stop sharing your screen now. That was Lee May with a forward chain, and we have 3 questions already. Yes. Okay, Chris, you go first.
Sorry, helps if I unmute myself. Thanks for the presentation. Sorry, could you just explain what's the relationship between forward chain and ship chain? I think I got the 2 names right. Or
Yes.
Is that all part of the same company, same product?
I've made a front end, and ShipChain is running the back end. They have over 20 developers. They are across the United States. They've already received funding. They have a beautiful product that I could not build myself. So I'm doing the front end. I'm recruiting commuting drivers. I'm going to make the sales on the front end, and their product will be operating on the back end.
I see. Thank you.
Thank you. Lucia, please go next.
Hi, sure. So I really want to talk about data and data integrity throughout this whole thing. So my understanding is that a lot of this is happening via app or via IoT sensors, but have you looked at, for example, one of your target markets on the supply side and looked at, number 1, like what smartphone adoption is, and then number 2, like utility of that smartphone? Because even in some markets where smartphone adoption is growing, they're still not using it to capacity or still not familiarized with like app behavior in like especially urban settings where it might be like inconsistent access to technological infrastructure. And then on the flip side of that, I think I heard the mention of an IoT sensor, but an IoT sensor is about $120 per unit. And you need, several units in order to properly track a shipment. And so is the small business at the demand side covering the cost? Like walk me through the process of the data capture and integrity as maintained throughout the entire journey.
Sure.
Sammy, can I hand that to you?
Absolutely. Great question. Thank you. Believe it or not, the usage of smartphone has grown to the point that it's more common that people have smartphones instead of computers, of course, as you may know. And there's also a program, at least via ShipChain, that we have that we ship out a smartphone to anyone who needs it so that they can keep track of their products in their supply chain. You can get a smartphone so cheap today that there's just an option that we provide if you're not able to get a smartphone in your market, so to speak. Second of all, the trackers, you're talking about the IoT devices that go on containers, etc. We can actually keep track of pallets and keep track of trucks, etc., or cargo, I would say, with something called NFC. So NFC technology means it's a tiny little kind of sticker that you put on the pallet. So anytime it arrives at the destination, you tap it with your phone, and therefore do a digital transfer of ownership if you don't have access to the more expensive IoT sensors. And the NFC tags are sub 25 cents each that you can put on pallets. So there are many different
Right.
solutions.
They are like human, it requires a human interaction. Like it's not an autonomous data logger, right? So you'll have to preserve and incentivize good behavior along the supply chain if you're relying on an NFC chip.
Absolutely,
Correct.
of course. So this all depends on which markets you're looking in, of course, because if you're in North America, for example, you have the electronic login device mandate, right? So every truck must have an electronic login device. But sure, if you're looking in rural communities in third world kind of countries, sometimes it's hard to integrate and make sense of big costs of any IoT sensors. And yes, of course, in many cases when dealing with rural communities, you need to kind of rely on in whatever you want to do in blockchain, right? If it's in mining, if it's in whatever it is, there's a human element. And blockchain, of course, as we all know, is not a technology that solves the mistakes of humans yet. But we're doing what we can to kind of move forward with innovation and adoption. So I think that's what we've looked at: RFID, NFC technology, et cetera. That's cheap, and they can still do an encrypted kind of handoff.
Thanks.
Okay, thank you. We have time for just one more question, and we have two judges that ask. Diana, if you don't mind, because we have Tanya, and she never asked the question yet, so I give her the right to ask this question. And Diana, please ask your question in the chat. Tanya, please go ahead.
Thank you. Sorry, Diana. Yeah, my question is, you're claiming to be, to be lowering the carbon footprint, and I'm wondering if have you considered the impact on the carbon footprint of all the data mining that occurs on Ethereum? Because most of the time, blockchain, like public blockchain solutions, are not considered to be lowering the carbon footprint because they consume so much energy.
If
I'm going to I'll hand it to Sammy, but I have a feeling he's going to talk about the Loom network.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. This is a longer discussion on the environmental impact of blockchain and the proof of work algorithms. As we all know, Ethereum 2.0 will be on a delegated proof of stake, which requires far less capacity in the way of capacity, and significantly will lower the carbon footprint if you look at the mining aspect, because it's now a delegated proof of stake aspect with a voting algorithm. And secondly, I would say that again, this is not my business model, but I'm going to speak just shortly, I guess, on your behalf, and you can kind of knock me out later if I'm wrong. But utilizing existing traffic instead of activating new vehicles to deliver is, of course, something that in the long run will help reduce carbon footprint as well. Hope that answers your question.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Tanya. Now, Diana, please ask your question in the chat, and judges, you now can fill your ballots, please. And we're going to go into our next question on the menti.com. Which project joined CryptoChicks Hatchery last? So this you cannot know either. Charity on Blocks, Forward Chain, Abstracta, or Warrior. Please guess and go to menti.com, use the code 327957 and make your guesses, make your selections. So which project joined CryptoChicks Hatchery last? Last but not the least. That's what they say. So please pick between Charity on, this is the adjusted on Box, which is on Blocks, Forward Chain, Abstractor, and Warrior. Please pick one of the four, and we will see results just in 3 seconds. So there you go. So let's see. Yes, majority of you were right. We had Forward Chain, joined us last and see who now, who guessed right. All right, congratulations to Buffy. I didn't know how to do it, but you did it. I will stop sharing now. So we have our next, and that's going to be next to the last project, and possibly last, because I just got the message from a warrior team, which is Nikki Ram, that she's in the hospital with her mom and possibly she will not be able to present. So something happened that she cannot even join the meeting and she cannot even talk. So we might just go through the report that she sent, but I am going to give a stage to Rewire. So Joanna, are you here? Are you ready? Okay, Joanna, I made you a co-host. You can unmute yourself and try to share the screen. I know that you had a difficulty of unmuting yourself before. Let me know if you can do it now.
Hello?
Yes, Joanna, we can hear you. Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Awesome.
Give me 1 second.
No problem. Yes, take.
Yeah, I as you know, I have a 2-month-old at home, so it's been chaotic right now.
Congratulations, congratulations. So this is so how is it to be a woman founder and have a baby?
It's I think I would say it's really giving you the perspective that another male founder will not see. And yeah, I appreciate all the support I get from you guys and get from the family at the same time.
Yeah, we in return appreciate your dedication. Yes, thank you so much for making your time and to be here. Please share your screen and I will tell you when you can present. I hope judges are ready. Looks like judges are ready. All right, so please share your screen and we can start presenting. And you have 10 minutes.
Okay. Can you guys see my screen?
No, I cannot. Okay, so right now we start sharing. Yes, now we can see your screen.
Okay, perfect. I will show the audio as well. All right. So hello everyone, thank you for joining me finally on the Rewire project. Before I start, I just wonder if any of you guys have been hesitating to have Amazon Alexa at home, worrying it could be quietly listen to our daily conversations. So smart home data security has been an enormous concern for people to actually using these great technologies. On the other hand, if those data are studied in a proper way, it can generate enormous value as well. So how do we resolve this conflict too? That's how Rewire come to help. At Rewire, we offer a blockchain-based technology to allow homeowners to be paid for sharing data from the smart home devices in an anonymous way. How does this work? Well, there has been many different architects proposed for the integration. Here's one from a 2020 paper published by NEC Lab. So basically, it takes the permission access function from a centralized data broker onto the blockchain. Specifically, the blockchain will handle the access request, user authorization, and also the transactions. What are the advantages of using blockchains? I would say there are 3 advantages. Number 1, there's no middlemen involved. So the third-party data broker is eliminated in this process. And number 2, the data encryption will provide the privacy and release the concern everyone had earlier. And number 3 is the convenience of real-time payments through smart contract to your digital wallets. And we conducted a focus group study with potential users. And here are the 3 major components we want to have for the product. Number 1, the application should be able to connect with multiple smart home devices. Number 2, it'd be able to manage the data generated by the smart devices and be able to manage the scope of sharing as well. And number 3, you can receive your payments in crypto when the data is used in the marketplace. So just now in the quiz, we mentioned that Rewire was the first to join the hatchery back in 2019. That was because everyone was so thrilled after winning the hackathon. But we didn't anticipate there's so many roadblocks in the last 12 months while we're working on this. From September to December, the first wave of challenge we're facing was legal concerns regarding securitizations and for the security tokens in our original model. And second is how feasible it is to test MVP with potential users. So starting from January, we launched the second phase of market survey and legal study, and starting to readapt our user case to smart home IoTs. Thanks to Alina, and I was connected with a few mentors in the property tech space, and also reached out one Toronto-based startup founder on smart fridge devices, just to understand how the IoT data get used and generated. And third, like I mentioned, the focus group is something I found is very valuable as we're talking to people who potentially are interested in using the service to identify what type of functions they want to include in application and in what way they can experience in a user-friendly way. So I'm very happy that we completely redesigned product in February and starting to get more experience from the survey and from mentors. And also by April, we completed our second version as MVP. And in May, we just launched our first marketing video and posted it in our product webpage. So now let's just have a quick look at our video demo. As you guys can see here, we have a very simple onboarding process, which introduces you to the concept. And
I don't think we see your video right now.
Okay, just 1 second.
Yeah,
Let me
yes.
reshare it.
And you have about 5 minutes left, so that's
okay. Let's see. Share.
There, we can see it now. Yeah, just start from the beginning. Thank you.
Yes. So we have a user-friendly onboarding interface to tell you what the app does. And once you log in, you'll be able to see clearly your own account and all the connections available for you. So here we demonstrate smart fridge, thermostat, and smart lights. Click into each, you will see description and specs of the data, and you'll be able to modify how long you want to change, what type of data you want to change, durations, and you will see what's the current rate you'll be paid for. Once you confirm, you'll be able to see that your current device is now connected for sharing, and you'll also be able to see the balance of the monetary reward you have got. Lastly, you can securely sign out. So now back to our presentations. Can you see my presentation screen?
Yes.
So as myself as investors, I know that you have to important to have a viable business model. The revenue source is twofold. The first is to charge a device provider like Nest or other smart IoTs as a bundle service to promote the device sales. And then we charge a fraction of data service fees. It works because it helps the data owner to get financial paid while control the data security. but also provide a wider source of data for the users and lower their overall cost of using this data. Market research showed that there's enormous market value, either from the daily trading volume of the data or from the monetary amount. And we're targeting users who are aware of the household demand for energy efficiency, green lifestyle, and also have a strong sense of data security as well. So this brought us to our marketing strategies. I myself is also a licensed realtor, so I'm marketing this product as a potential service for property management providers. So we don't have to separate incorporate this project as a separate identity. And next thing is I have been trying to launch a social media campaign as well. The focus group was phase 1, and we're going to do more through our Project Hut product page with our videos on. And also the public presence, I've been attending Toronto DeFi meetup and Futures Conference and other meetings, just trying to talk to people and promote the product. As the founder, everyone knows that you have to wear many hats in the startup, so am I. And we have Casey, who was a computer science developer, helping us on the back end on Ethereum. Now we're looking for a new developer for the phase 2 development. To end, I would say the best way to predict the future is to create it. And I want to share our marketing video as a way to motivate you guys, support my project to shaping the future together. Here we go.
Thank you. And you have about 2 minutes.
Okay, perfect. 1 second. Can you guys see it?
No.
Okay.
No, we can see you Windows Explorer.
Okay, just trying to reshare it. Give me 1 more second. No?
Yes.
Can you see the video?
Yes, yes.
All right, that concludes the presentation. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Joanna. So we have a question from Chris. Chris, please go ahead.
Hi there. I'm curious, so how do you actually get access to the data and control it going to or from the different providers? I assume that requires partnership with device manufacturers, which you also referenced as a revenue. Have you had any discussions with those manufacturers and got any indication of their willingness to pay or integrate with you, and do they see this as an opportunity or challenge to be solved?
So the first phase I was going to, which I started, was talking with Toronto-based startup, the smart fridge retrofitting. And because they're startup, it's easier to have a two-way communications to understand how does their data is generated and how can that be interpreted, integrated with the type of service I have. So far, I would say that they would be interested because to have and be able to sell the device at a lower cost is what they are interested in. To tag this as part of their bundle service can really lower the actual price the customer would pay for the startup retrofitting smart fish device. So they're very interested. In terms of the bigger providers like Nest or the other smart home devices, I'm still in the process to learning how different type of infrastructure and data format works. I want to be able to fully understand, for one, say the fridge, and so that I can have a better way to talking to the other providers as well. Yeah.
Thanks.
All right. Any more questions, judges? I don't see any questions right now, so please start filling your ballots. All right, so we have, we were supposed to have one more presenter. Let me just check. Yes, so she's still in the hospital. She cannot present and she cannot be here. Though I'm going to be able to share the report that she sent over. She didn't send over the presentation, she sent over the report, and unfortunately, because of her emergency, she cannot join us. So we are going to review that. So please, judges, please let me know when you're ready to see the last presentation, last report for the winners today. And we also have one more presenter, Sina Nazari, who is just joined our CryptoChicks Hatchery, and we giving him stage also today, just right after this last presentation and filling in the ballots. So we're giving them stage to present to all our mentors his idea and his project, and he needs a new mentor. So we're going to be assigning him a new mentors for the next cohort. So he joined us in the next cohort. He's a participant right now in our SOS hackathon that is going on right now, starting from May 29th to June 30th. And this is online event. So he qualifies as the founder that joined to build a business from his hack. So judges, let me know if you are ready. I'm going to share my screen to present our last project. I'm going to be just reading off because I was not prepared for that, and I'm going to be reading off the screen, and you can do it with me. So the Warrior project, so this is the last project that applied for the Sustainability Award. Warrior, track your contributions in real time using satellite imagery, GPS, and visual content. Promote trust, transparency, and accountability via blockchain technology. Facilitate stability in money flows and supply chain during emergencies. Properly administrate and restore and rebuild by critical mitigating risk of loss. All right, so please, everybody, mute yourself while you're not presenting. Let me just do that. All right. Okay, so in going on, continuing on, see the impact of your investments from origin to destination. So in fact, this project is tracking the contributions toward the emergency recovery situation. So when there is some emergency, let's say a hurricane, and the company needs to rebuild the infrastructure and buildings, so the donations of the wood is getting tracked by this project, Warrior. So public presence, Warrior has a website built on a WordPress, warrior.org. You can all go and take a look. They have 6 partners: Salvation Army, NASA, Protecos, Space Impulse, Space Sense, and Ta Magente. So these are the partners of Warrior. So MVP, so they confirmed a pilot area of 10 homes that will have a temporary roofs replaced with the real ones. So this is what they're building for their MVP, employing 60 to 100 local people and using local manufacturing in San Juan to officially kick off in August 2020. And their app is under development and completion in 8 weeks time. Market research. They did a comprehensive customer research with government agencies, corporation, major philanthropies, and UN departments. And they also have a number of more verticals that are looking at to generate revenue, such as SaaS-based subscription model. But once they start funding and pilot with they test a number of these verticals. So here's probably the picture of the roof that they tested. So that's and all this project is going on in Puerto Rico, though the founder lives here in Ontario. All right, so these are the pictures that she posted in the report. Fundraising, so they are currently raising funds. They have just 6K from the family, so so the first source of income is for all startups. Probably the family contributed $6,000. They have a team in place on agreement of proof of work, a team who have signed NDAs and contract, and they will work without remuneration under the pilot of 10 homes until the pilot of 10 homes is proven. Warrior is incorporated. They didn't receive any revenue for this period of time, no. Education, they had a mentor from CryptoChicks who became their provisional CFO, and they needed him at the mentor, but they unfortunately didn't work out with the mentor, and it was stressful situation for them. So that's in problem solving. So they had the problems that they facing, not having the right people, also problem of raising capital to fund MVP. They're still looking for the correct help for the company who are qualified to give the advice. Not the lack of money, that is understandable. People don't give you the time of the day. Of course, people cannot work for free. This is also understandable. Getting partners is hard. All right, so this is all the problems, and you can read them too. So she started alone, and now she has a team of 9. So these are the team progression and blockchain element, because we had one of the judges ask them how they actually implement blockchain in their so this is the explanation. The simplest process we could find that still preserves tamper evidence in the blockchain is to store everything in a traditional database, just like MongoDB, but stores also hashes of these records on the blockchain. So this is just the technicality on how they do it. And this is some of the examples of the records that they store. And here is the, I believe, the MVP design, and that's it. The whole report is ended. So that was, unfortunately, that's the presentation. I don't think I will be able to answer the questions because I don't know the project that much. All right, so yes, and okay, and that's all for this presentation. Please, I believe judges, you can just, if you have a questions, I will try to answer, but since I'm not the founder of this project, I'm not qualified, of course, to answer that. you can just fill your ballots, because I feel bad that we have to turn down this applicant just because she had an emergency. So please fill in your ballots the best way you could. And we are moving on to the to Sina Nazari presentation. While the judges are filling their ballots, please take your time. And Sina, let me make you a co-host. So this project is not getting marked. This is a new project to the CryptoChicks Hatchery. So Sina is
Hello.
just joined our
everyone.
CryptoChicks Hatchery. Yes, and he is presenting today. Yeah, welcome, Sina.
Give me 1 second. Let me make sure my screen is here. I got this. Sorry, stop broadcast. Gotta make sure. Sorry, give me 1 second. Okay, so can everyone see my screen? Hello. Can everyone see my screen?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. So here we go. Sorry. Let me get to the beginning. I don't know why. Right now. Sorry, I just quit my screen, which is a bad thing. Okay. So here we go. So let me at the same time. Okay. So here we go. So I'm presenting Halo Identity, and we're an identity check company. I've been in the blockchain space, and I came across this problem where identity checks are becoming a problem in cryptocurrencies and blockchain and the community as a whole, from more of a regulatory perspective nowadays than from a technology perspective. So the real problem we're addressing is that for cryptocurrency transactions themselves, I'm not speaking definitely from a regulatory perspective, but from the cryptocurrency transactions themselves between one sender to a receiver, there's no compliance requirements, there's no compliance enforcement. And this means that cryptocurrencies are going to be used for tax evasion, money laundering, and terrorist financing, and things that are bad for the society, and regulations are meant to stop this kind of thing from taking place anyways. But there's no enforcement right now in the blockchain community itself, but rather there's sometimes a little bit of enforcement in, or good enforcement now in converting cryptocurrencies to cash, but that might not be enough going forward. And as you know, there's blockchain getting a bad rep, bad reputation, it's not being well adopted all the time, partly because it's been known for, in some places, for people who are not trying to follow regulations. So what we provide is identity checks for protocol level transactions. That's if I send Ether, Bitcoin, or something else to someone else. And how that helps is it makes sure that we stay safe and that we can move the blockchain community along with regulations. And at the same time, the general problems that arise when you start doing identity checks is a privacy concern. We do have ideas, or we do have technologies that would address a privacy concern at the same time, so that we enable cryptocurrency transactions to be regulated without undermining one's privacy or the transaction party's privacy. And this will, in the long run, help bring more legitimacy to blockchains and cryptocurrencies as a whole. So what we do that is better, we do have competitors, say from Sovereign or even the Hyperledger Indy, or technology sometimes are competitors. Sometimes technologies are not competitors because they're open source, but rather we have competitors like Shift Network and so on that compete with us truly in this space, but that they have models that will not let them go ahead with the current regulations. What we can do here is, with the technology that we've built and architected and we're going to be developing soon, is we can go to market, hopefully when we start development, faster than other people who bring identity checks to protocol level or not even protocol level blockchains. We never put someone's personal identifying information on the blockchain, which means it's easier to do things with regulations. Go-to-market is faster, and we also help the regulators freeze transactions that involve like legal transactions. And we have a phased development model where we start really fast to get customers, and then we go to more blockchain designs, or more public blockchain design, to lead the transformation of this business or this project to mainstream adoption of blockchain, to enable mainstream adoption of blockchain among everyone going forward. So our first customer is one of escrow masters for large transactions. Sometimes escrow masters have difficulties with banking that would be from fees or because of the treasury rules of the United States, or some of the reasons that would put them in a situation where they still have to meet 3 requirements. One of them is they can't deal with the banking system. Say someone in receiving or sending money from Africa might not have access to the sort of bank that would be accepted in another part of the world as a bank that's a letter of credit would be accepted, or some of the reason might be excluded from the financial economy. And so that's one sort of customer. The other sort of customer is one whose bank would say, for international transfers like this, we would charge you large transaction fees. So an escrow master in this kind of situation would have to make sure that they stay responsible to the financial regulations, and that means that they have to collect KYC information, identity information. They have to check them against all the lists that they have to check them against anyway. So that's one requirement. The second requirement is that they would want to save on fees, or that they don't have access to, or one party in the transaction doesn't have access to general, the good banking systems that would be there. And the third transaction is that people don't want just their information to be available publicly because they're in a trade, that they're going through like a large trade. Like in this case, the oil traders we interviewed were discussing large amounts, more than $1 million each. So, some of the escrow masters we interviewed were willing to pay over $1,000. That's a good sign for a transaction, because it also helps them reduce their legal fees and banking fees. So that's always a good sign. And so what the business model we have in mind is to charge in excess of $1,000 for each transaction that we identify that we do identity checks for every party of. And if individual users want to be a part of this model as well, we will help them store or maintain their privacy in some transactions, while making sure they get credit for checking the legitimacy of their transaction going forward. But that for them, it would be a monthly fee, like $20 a month. The reason is they're not making as good a use of the system, so that let's make sure they get to pay an amount that is affordable to them. So, and this is a sort of business that's low cost but high margin. So the reason this is the right time to start this kind of business is because cryptocurrencies are getting regulated, and they give us a good leadway to start understanding where the regulations are going. In 2018, countries started looking at regulating cryptocurrencies, and in June 2020 in Canada now we have regulations that were being thought of in 2018 being implemented just now, just as of a few days ago. So other reasons is the state trade with blockchain is rising. So stable coins are going to be used for trade and commerce. They're already more than 50% of blockchain transactions in some of the largest chains. Central bank digital currencies are coming in. Some of them might be on blockchains, but that we're not hoping for that. We're hoping for central bank digital currency transfers between different banks that is going to require blockchain identity checks, because we want to make sure every bank is on the same page as each other, meaning every country is on the same page as each other. And the open banking movement is going to make it easier to access people's identity if they are willing or if they consent to it from the traditional government and financial system of the world. So it looks like everything's coming into place for this opportunity to be taken up. And what we really intend to use for customers is for the early stage, first 5 years or first 10 years, what we have in mind, and we think we have a good customer understanding of the customers is the escrow masters is going to be one sort of kind of customer. The other kind of customers I discussed was the individuals who want to make sure they're early adopters in the regulation. They want to make sure they stay safe going forward, or that they take credit for their responsibility going forward, because mainstream adoption is a big part of our business model. We want to show that this is possible. In 5 years or so, we're expecting governments are going to be tightening regulations again on cryptocurrencies to levels we haven't thought about today. So in 5 years or so, we're going to be, our customers are going to be governments, and perhaps governments and blockchain developers would start getting into arrangements that would mean that blockchain developers would also want to implement protocol level KYCs into their own products. And where we see this is going to be going is there's going to be a credit report and credit score system for this business as well, meaning Equifax had at some point access to identities when they joined credit report and credit scores. That's when they started making more money, and not just money, but also it's now keeping lenders safe, or it's not just identity now, but rather keeping people accountable, not just for their transactions, but also for borrowing. And this will help protect borrowers and lenders, both borrowing responsibly and lending responsibly. So again, as I mentioned, there's going to be more opportunities coming on when we get to the point where we have a large enough customer base and a large enough corporate or government partnership. We can get into Equifax models where they grew really fast, really well, really fast. Sorry. So the team right now is myself. I'm a blockchain entrepreneur since 2018 when I graduated with an MBA. I keep up to date with blockchain trends all the time just to see what's going on, where is it that we're lacking infrastructure that should be built. And my co-founder is Parsa. I've known him since my middle school. Very smart. He went on to do his master's in computer science and has publications in AI and machine learning. And he's programmed a blockchain, a Bitcoin core software from scratch, like hard coded it. So he's very well the right person on the blockchain side. And on the development side, and I'm here, and we would be looking at, we have 3 advisors, and you can look this up on our website as well. And we're looking at possibly bringing another person for partnerships with banks, ideally age over 40, 45 in a year or so. Just for, when we start looking at dealing with governments and banks, we'd like to have someone who would have a little bit more of an age. And just to remind you, our vision going forward is to make sure that we bring a ubiquitous and interoperable regulation compliance and identity data sharing between all blockchain transactions. And what that means is we do envision that the blockchain world is going to be a very important world for everything talking finance, but that right now it's going separate from the path of regulation. And it's not about making sure regulation takes place, but that more so making sure regulation takes place today so that the path going separate will be aligned together, so that we see the growth of blockchain taking place the way it should, so that we have a fully democratized, decentralized finance ecosystem by 2040. So we might be looking at KYC and identity checks today, but that's just a requirement for making sure that we can have this kind of economy that the blockchain ecosystem really thinks about and talks about in 10 or 20 years, when we don't want as much opposition as blockchain is getting right now. So thank you, everyone, and thank you in particular, Elena, for letting me present today. And yeah, so I guess the purpose for this presentation was to look for a mentor. The mentors I would have in mind is one for either a technology mentor for talking about blockchain, making sure that architectures would solve the problems we want to solve and are safe before getting into development. Perhaps another mentor would be one on the regulatory compliance site who would know the regulations ins and out, not just trends, not just generally, but rather exactly the kinds of information we would have to collect from each identity check so that we could make sure we don't reprogram things over and over again. Perhaps we could get as much information as is needed. And the third mentor, perhaps going next year, or the third advisor would be looking at having a year or two from now is on the business side. And so I'll give you a little briefing on our website. Here's a website we have, and we have 3 mentors who already accepted to join us. And Sean is a risk advisor at EY. Mitch is a business advisor who is in the entrepreneurship space in Toronto and works with certain accelerators already. Zabosh is someone I know from my previous business. He's into growth hacking. And just to give you an idea of where we are in blockchain compliance right now is, if you look at this photo, this is by the FATF. It's called the Financial Action Task Force. And what the FATF does is it regulates the minimal standards of financial regulations for all the nations to stay together in the financial ecosystem. And for cryptocurrencies and blockchain assets, there's a point at which you can see on the third, or the second or the third point, the second or the third photo here is, you can see ransom payments. That's the kind of transaction we don't want to take place. And then there's the receiving wallets. That's where the money should be stopped if you want to protect people from going into fraud or going into bad transactions in cryptocurrencies. But you can see in the current, if you see in the current ecosystem, really the stopping point is the red line here is after the people who have transacted bad money have layered the money, which means it's hardly traceable now. And they've probably taken it through some exchanges, and now they want to convert it to cash. What if they were able to make use of this money before converting it to cash? Or what if they weren't caught because they layered it well enough that they were now able to convert it to cash? What we're going to be needing going forward is if blockchain were to, and if we want blockchain to realize its potential, is we need to start blocking bad money going forward a little bit further left on this line. And we need this to be done privately. We need this to be done in a way that will protect everyone, is not dependent on a single party. Just like, all the advantages of blockchain, we need to keep. So that's why we need to have protocol level KYC checks that are private and everything that would protect the public and the transactor at the same time. So that just gives you a sense of what my project is going to be looking like. And I'm sorry, there might have been a bit of a misunderstanding. The project I'm working on in the hackathon is one related to COVID-19, very directly related to COVID-19. So I hope Elena forgives me for maybe there was a misunderstanding about that.
All right. Thank you so much, Sina. Mentors, please let me know if you would like to take Sina as one of your mentees. So Sina already indicated who he needs, right? So you need somebody from the regulatory landscape for sure, right? So, and then if you have any questions, mentors, please send me email at elena.sinelnikova@cryptochicks.ca. You can also contact us, stay in touch at cryptochicks.ca, and also in the Telegram chat, you all are in there. We are right now combining the results, and do we have the results yet? Tracy, are you finished with your ballot? So that's my team was asking me if you finished with your ballot.
Finished, yeah.
Finished, yes. Tracy's finished. All right. So awesome. We just have just a few seconds until the result is ready. I would like you to all to go to portis.io. You can open it on your phone, on your computer, and click the open wallet button. So we are going to be using this wallet, and I just wanted to share that's how easy it is to use. We're going to be using this wallet to send you the NFT, like non-fungible tokens that we are distributing at this event. So you can create a new wallet here and just enter your email, right? Pick a password that you need. Please do so. And register on the wallet. Oh, you see, it's already exists. It's very, very easy to. So once you do that, you will be assigned an Ethereum address, and this is a non-custodial wallet where you can actually import any of your wallets, existing wallets they have right now. And this is one that we recommend that easy to use to see all your tokens and all your collectibles. I'm going to share right now the wallet that I have with them. And we're going to be sending you the collectibles in that wallet. So this is the collectible that oh, it's not the ones. Just bear with me. My Zoom started installing some plugin that I didn't ask him to install. So that's what I have in my wallet right now. CryptoChicks Hatchery, this is proof of attendance. So today you all attended our graduation. Thank you very much. We're going to send you the wallet collectibles, the token collectibles, and you are going to receive a discount for the next, for example, Futurist conference. We also will start working with other conferences. For example, we are started working with Ethereum Foundation, so we will get you a discount for the DEF CON, for example, so Futurist Conference, DEF CON. So everybody who attended this graduation, you will be able to receive the discounts to these conferences. And for our participants, we will be working towards getting actually a completely free access to the conferences. So please make sure that you get your POPs. And for our and by the way, in order to receive these collectibles, please send us an email at stayintouch@cryptochicks.ca with your Ethereum address. All right, so that's so once you get the wallet, please send us your Ethereum address. So in here, you can actually click receive and copy your wallet address from here, and you will receive into your wallet, you will receive the proof of attendance protocol. Please do so, and you will get the discounts. In terms of our participants, so do we have the results ready? Okay, so Diana, we still have your ballot is empty. So your ballot is empty, so please please make sure that you enter all your marks in there. If you enter your marks and it's local, please download your spreadsheet as an Excel and please email it to us to stay in touch at CryptoChicks.ca. We still have your ballot is empty, so we cannot mark the winner. All right. So also I'm going to show you what our CryptoChicks Hatchery graduate are going to get. So they're going to get the very special graduate NFTs. And just let me share my screen to show you how these NFTs will look like. So for example, you can see that. So that these are the NFTs that our graduate are going to be getting after the ceremony. And so because they are all the stars, so our graduate is going to receive the star and that's going to end up in their wallet. So please let me know your Ethereum address, send it through email at stayintouch@cryptochicks.ca. And we are going to send you the NFTs and you're going to receive discounts to these conferences. All right, so yeah, okay, so Chrissy, I don't send it in the chat, please send it by email. Send to stayintouch@cryptochicks.ca, your Ethereum address, and we are going to issue you the token for this CryptoChicks Hatchery. So we still don't have a result yet, so please stay with us.
Yeah, if you do have this NFT by next year, 2021, everyone who has will get a free ticket to Futurist Conference.
There you go. Thank you so much, Tracy. You see, you just got upgraded from the discount to completely free ticket to the best blockchain conference, well, I consider in the world. Best blockchain conference in the world, the Futurist Conference. You just got all upgraded to a free tickets. Free tickets. So thank you so much for attending today. We are still counting the results. Our judges, please fill in your ballots so you know who you are and send it to us. Awesome. Thank you so much, Tracy, for that news. So while we are waiting for the winner, and we have such a long drum roll, let me do another quiz to you. So that's my job today, to entertain you. So we're going to use again the menti.com. I knew that something like this could have happened, and I built another presentation to entertain you. Just stay with us. Thank you so much for attending. And you see that you didn't spend your time in vain. You're going to all receive a free access to the Futurist Conference. Thank you to Tracy. All right, so minty.com, please use the code 482495. 482495, minty.com. All right. Thank you. Yes, please send your Ethereum addresses to stayintouch@cryptochicks.ca. Okay. All right. So menti.com. What year CryptoChicks founders met each other? Please try to guess. It's it's 2000, 2017, 1989, 1972. So when CryptoChicks founders met each other, and time is up. Yay! You guys guessed right. I don't know. Well, if you even were if you were born in this year, I'm not sure. But thank you so much for guessing that. And not sure where you got this information because it was strictly confidential. And let me guess who. Okay, Dragon Knight. Good job. Snuggles, good job. Jennifer, Puffy, you all guessed it right. Great job, guys. All right, so let's get into another questions while we still calculating the results. When CryptoChicks organization was officially founded? 2014, 2000, 2017, 2018. So just make your guess, or if you know, you're one of the lucky ones, I guess. So when a CryptoChicks organization was officially founded. All right, so only 5 seconds left. 3, 2, and 1. And let me see who. That's correct. You guessed correctly, 2017. Yes, so we are celebrating, this year we're celebrating 3 years in December. Just hinted you for the next quiz, for the next event. All right, so who is the leaderboard? Yes, Dragon Knight, Snuggles, Jennifer, and Puffy. Great job, guys. I cannot even guess who you are judging by your names, but you probably know us very well. Thank you for that. Countries CryptoChicks events were planned in 2020. Belarus, Pakistan, United Arab Emirates, Bahamas, Austria, Canada. Please select one or more. I give you a hint, one or more. Belarus, Pakistan, United Arab Emirates, Bahamas, Austria, and Canada. All right, so everyone has voted. Excellent. So the correct answers are all of them. We planned events in all of these countries. Unfortunately, they got postponed because of the COVID, but these are the countries that we planned our events in 2020. So there you go. Keep following us, and maybe your country also will be on the list. So let me see who guessed it right. All right, so Dragon Knight is still ahead of the game. Good job, whoever you are. All right, so let's go, and while we still calculating the results. Ready? Okay, our results are ready. Awesome. So while we are preparing the drum rolls for the last time, please name blockchain events that you know and like. Here, you just type in which events you know and like, so we can actually contact them and get you a free ticket. Thank you, CryptoChicks. You already got it. Thank you. Just name events that you know and like, and we will get you the discounted passes and eventually maybe a free passes as well to these events. All right, DEF CON, Futurist, there you go. Any other events that you guys would like to attend that you know and like, let us know. ETH events, blockchain in transport. Thank you for this one. I have not heard of that. Need to now pay attention and contact them too. Okay, Futurist, DEF CON, ETH events, CryptoChicks, blockchain, and transfer. There's nothing impossible for us. We can do that. All right, so do we have a winner? Natalia? And we do. Okay, you have to unmute yourself.
Yes, I have to. I wouldn't want to miss on that. Congratulations, guys.
Camera on.
All right, sorry. I'm requested to put the camera on, rightfully so. Hopefully you can guys see me now. Okay, perfect. I can see myself. Okay, guys, after a long wait, we're now in a position to announce our winner. There was no tie. We have a clear winner, and the winner is 3, 2, 1. It's a custom speed.
Custom Speed, good job, guys. Congratulations. Congratulations, Custom Speed. Congratulations to all you guys. You worked so hard for this, and we continue working together with you the whole next year, and hopefully after we continue to support you with more funding, with more education, with more help. Thank you so much. Congratulations, Custom Speed. Congratulations, all other projects. You were wonderful, and stay with us. Thank you very much. That was a CryptoChicks graduation hatchery. Thank you, judges. Thank you, mentors. Thank you, everyone. Send us email at stayintouch@cryptochicks.ca, and have a great rest of your weekend. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Thank you.